Global Book Network. I'm Zach Feldman. Thanks so much for tuning in here on YouTube and on globalbooknetwork.com. Joining me over the phone right now, she is an author. She has a new children's book out called In the Mangroves. It is Melodin Trammel. Melanin, thanks so much for joining me here on Global Book Network. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me, Zach.
Yeah, of course. Thanks so much for coming on. So tell me all about this brand new children's book. It is one that is catching a lot of kids' eyes.
Thank you. Yeah, it's about manatees, and I have a little guy named Bobby, and he is about to become a big brother, and he has no idea that that is coming down the pike. Currently, he's the apple of his family's eye, and he's all the attention's on him, and so he's making the transition to becoming a big brother, and he doesn't like it very much.
No, not at all. I mean, listen, it's hard to be the newcomer in the family, let alone be the man of let alone be like the guy of the family, in a sense. Tell me about kind of where this came from. Where'd you get the idea from?
Living in Florida, manatees are abundant down there, and they're like these gentle giants in the sea. And I went to this little park where a lot of them tend to hang out in the wintertime because the water's warm from a plant that's by there. And they're also like an animal that we're really watching out for because they're endangered. And so I just thought it would be a really cute story to have a little manatee be the star of this book.
Or would you ever have a fan were you ever a big huge fan of manatees, or were you ever just like like fascinated by them?
Actually, I didn't know anything about them until I moved to Florida, and so I became fascinated with them.
And then
Yes.
it worked out in your favor too, because now the book's out for everybody to read. It's being shared by a ton of different parents out there. What's like kind of the moral, I guess, for parents who are picking up this book who don't realize what it's all about?
Yeah. One, it's about children having feelings. I know when I was a parent raising my kids, I didn't always acknowledge my children's feelings. And so this little guy is really hurt by the fact that one, he didn't know he was about to become a big brother. He didn't understand that process. And he really felt like he was being left out of the family once the new baby arrived. And so I think it's just really important that children be able to express their feelings and have their feelings acknowledged and recognized.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a huge deal when when children aren't being recognized for their work at such a young age too. It's a huge developmental situation that happens there too. Did you do your research
Yeah.
on kind of the studies behind that?
I can't say that I have.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, it's crazy. It really is. It's an insane study that's been done. About the development of kids and being able to be the guiding light, I guess, in the beginning of their stages is so crucial for them to be to grow later on in life. And I think that's really cool that
Right.
you kind of dive into this book, about their feelings too. Do you have young kids as
Yeah.
well?
I raised twins, and so they're
Oh,
actually adults.
nice.
Yeah. This book is also for parents as much as it is for children. As we're raising kids, we're doing our best. A lot of what we do is what our parents did, which may or may not be the best form of parenting. And so I think there's always a chance for us to learn and grow and be able to communicate better with our kids so they feel like they have a safe environment to be able to share what's actually happening in their lives.
Yeah, I mean, you're also, I mean, something that maybe people might not know about you, but you're also the last of eight children.
I am.
And, first off, being part of a huge family like that, what was the dynamic like?
There's a huge age difference between the eldest and myself. So there was 20 years. So I had many parents. But one of the wonderful things was I actually had my parents were able to do it on me a little bit more because, I was the last and, so I was able to attend private schools and travel and do things that my elder siblings didn't get a chance to. So I had a lot of opportunity, which was wonderful for me. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and also it helped you too in later in life because you became a nurse. You did that for over
Yeah.
36 years. What was it like working with children, and kind of getting that and having that experience to help you with this book?
It was actually really amazing, especially children have different developmental ages. They're also growing in different ways. The security that they feel from their parents when they're newborns, having their needs being met, will determine whether or not they feel secure or insecure growing up as kids. And as they grow, getting that autonomy and all of that. So it's really cool to see the different ages. It also would help me to like how I would speak to children. Like I always made sure that I included them in their care. Even if they were 2 years old or 10 years old or 18 years old, it was really important to me that I address them, not just their parents. And so, yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and this isn't obviously your first book. You've been around the block before when it comes to writing. So, when did writing become a big part of your life?
Actually, I would say it was about 2 years ago. I started doing some personal development in my life. And what I learned is we carry a lot of like limiting beliefs starting from childhood, and we carry it throughout our adult life. And some of those things will actually, catapult our lives to success, or sometimes they really hold us back. And I had realized that, there was something that happened to me in the third grade that caused me to really hold back. I was placed in like a lower level of reading and writing skills. I guess my teacher felt like I needed extra work in that area. And so I was placed in that lower skill. And what I had been carrying with me is that I'm not very smart. Um, into my adulthood, like I didn't even realize that I was holding on to that baggage that totally wasn't true. I
Yeah, well,
went
you
back to
showed them for
school.
sure.
I did.
Yeah.
But actually what I did was I showed myself. Which is really important. So a lot of the messages in my books help children and parents realize that just because someone labels you something or calls you something doesn't mean that it's true, and you shouldn't let those things hold you back.
But it's hard at that age, when you're being told, that, this you're not capable enough for it yet. And it's a
Absolutely.
hard influence on you too. I'm glad you're able to overcome it too. What's the advice though do you have for kids and even teens out there who are getting the bad influence?
I think it's important for parents to actually change that paradigm in their kids through communicating positive affirmations about them, or just reminding them of all the things that they are good at. No one's good at absolutely everything. We have our strengths and we have our weaknesses, and it's okay to have both. But it's important for parents to instill that positivity in their kids and not perpetuate it. It's amazing how a little comment like don't be silly or don't be stupid can really impact a child to think that they actually are stupid. And so like just minding our words are very powerful.
Yeah, 100%. And and I think a lot of that also is in this book too, in the Mangroves, where he's trying to fight the fact that he's going to be now the second child in the family.
Mhm. Yeah, or the fact that he's being replaced. He really believes that he's being replaced and he's no longer needed in his family. And it's just really cool as the book progresses that he realized that he's actually a very important member of his family and very loved.
I want to ask too about the cover. I mean, did you have an idea of what you wanted for the cover, or was this something you just said, run free with the artist work?
Yeah, no, actually, a really good friend of mine from New York made the cover for me, and he actually captured exactly what I was looking for. I wanted him to do all of the illustrations, but he's like, I can't do it, I can't do it. But he really captured the essence of the mangroves, which are just as much a character in this book as the manatees are. And I think he did a brilliant job.
He really did, and it really shows, like it really keeps you into the theme of everything too, and it's a really really awesome book too. Another one that you have out there too, by the way, I want to mention just as a briefly, is called Kora's Harbor's Adventures. And
Yeah.
that itself is also a tremendous book too. Tell a little about what that is all about for those who are just finding out about it.
Um, Yeah, Kora is a brand new tugboat just entering the harbor. It's her very first day, and she really wants to be the absolute best tugboat that she can be, but she has no idea what she's doing. And her idea initially is just to wing it, and she has a terrible first day. She's bullied a little bit because she doesn't know what she's doing and makes a lot of mistakes, but she also has some mentors in the book. And one of the things that makes this great for children is it shows that it's okay to ask for help when you don't have all the answers. Many of us are new in a group and feel uncomfortable in that situation, but power through it, and you will realize that you can become an asset to the group. And that's one of the things that Kora does. It also touches on the theme of win-win. Like we always feel like if someone wins, someone has to lose, but that's not necessarily the truth, especially in a team setting. We all bring our A game to that setting, and we're all needed. And there's a little moment in the book where it actually shows that the diversity of the group actually makes it a more powerful group and is able to accomplish more. So, yeah.
Mel, when you're thinking of ideas for children's books or any type of books in that matter too, what's going through your mind originally? Like when you first start off with a blank slate, what are you thinking about?
I'm actually thinking about some moral or lesson that can help a child. I like to bring characters that aren't typical, like a tugboat or a manatee. I actually am in the process of illustrating another book that's coming up. It's called Hidden in the Marsh, and it actually has sandhill cranes in it as the main characters.
Ooh.
I think it kind of takes the pressure off of the human experience and lets you actually open yourself more up to receiving the message that's being delivered when it's an animated character.
That sounds amazing, and I'm excited for that to come out as well. I'll definitely come back when that comes out. I'd love to talk to you more about that too. But
Oh,
for those who are like, who are just picking up your books now today, what's the one thing that you want them to kind of get from your writing?
Um, I think that we're never too young to learn. I definitely learned that when I attended the personal development course. And it's okay to see your flaws because once you have awareness about them, you're actually able to grow and change them. And so I think that that's the biggest thing. As far as writing goes, like for me, I always thought it would never be something that I could do. And I've just been blown away by how free I've been to just write these stories and have them be so well received. So it's never too late to start.
No, not at all. And it's never too late to pick up a Mel book too. I mean, that's going to be a lot of fun for people to read, and especially with their children too. It's going to be really really cool.
Yeah.
You can check out In the
Yeah.
Mangroves. It's on Amazon. And for those who want to keep in touch with you, where can they go?
They can go to the granolamamas.com. That is my childbirth class that I have online. And they can also reach me on Facebook. I'm under Mama Mel.
I love that. That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what you produce next. Seriously, thank you so much for coming on Global Book Network to talk a little about In the Mangroves. It was a pleasure talking to you and a pleasure meeting you as well. And good luck with all the success.
Here, Zach, thank you so much for having me.
You too, anytime. You've been watching Global Book Network here on YouTube and on globalbooknetwork.com. Check it out. You can check out all of our different interviews here on YouTube and on our website. And we'll see you here next time for another author interview.